Sunderland got the bragging rights very much in the North East this morning after beating Newcastle in the time we had Derby yesterday. The 3 points take them up to 7th, and their boss, Régis Le Bris, was asked how important it's been to give a good account of themselves this season.
Yeah, I think it can happen for a newly promoted side, and it's obvious that we'll have tough periods in this Premier League, so it's good to break the negative dynamic. And after that, we'll see, because we never know before the game.
Régis Le Bris has done an incredible job. Just before we move on to talk about it, there was a great moment in commentary yesterday. I think it was Peter Drury who said the fourth official most loved days like this when he's got Régis Le Bris on one side and Eddie Howe on the other. And he's dead right, isn't it? The fourth official must have had a grin as wide as the Tyne Bridge there, that it's not Arteta against Pep or whatever. And he knows he's going to get a quiet afternoon. So, look, I mean, let's touch on AFCON, first of all. They're going to lose Ronaldo, Talbi, Traore, Siddiqui, Matsuaku, and Habib Diarra, even though Habib Diarra is not fit enough to play at the moment. Do you think they can cope with that number? I think there were 4 starters yesterday.
Yeah. Yes, I think they'll cope, but I think it'll have an effect. But, I mean, I just think it's really, really difficult to take that number and that quality out your team for it not to have an effect, unless your Man City or Arsenal, Jeff, who obviously, as we know, have got incredible squads. It is the level of the effect, I think, that's the important thing. You know, clearly they'll still have to pick up points in their absence. You know, whether they'll continue on the run and the form that they're on, I would question. Clearly, I hope they do. But I just think you're taking a good bit of quality out your team, and I'm not sure you get the capability to replace it with the same quality.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I do think, though, they've got a decent squad.
Yeah.
I mean, for instance, yesterday on the bench, Trey Hume came on, Dan Neil, Chris Rigg, Mayenda, Isidore, Mundle, who's been injured, Simon Adingra, who staggeringly wasn't selected, I think it's the Ivory Coast of this team. He was player of the tournament in the last African Nations Cup, not selected. Gertruida. I think they've got a good squad. I think they've got a squad that probably can cope as well, but we shall see. It was a big game to win, that is for sure.
Oh, massive. Yeah. Absolutely massive yesterday.
Because the caller, the texter earlier on said they would have been looking down rather than up.
You could see the way they played it. The way they played it, you could see how important it was.
Yeah. Let's take a couple of Sunderland callers, shall we? Tom is a Sunderland fan. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Tom.
Morning, gents. Great shows are.
Thank you, mate. How's the head this morning? Was there a celebratory beer or two?
Well, I told the wife I'd be home at 5 o'clock. I just didn't specify which 5 o'clock.
In all seriousness, Tom, I mean, we were talking about it, and, you know, we can argue there maybe might not have been that much in terms of quality in the game, but in terms of the level of commitment and the way Sunderland went about it, Sunderland fans had to be delighted with what they saw.
Honestly, we couldn't believe it. We were sat in the pub beforehand and we spoke about how we were quite worried how Newcastle were going to have all these quick players when we seen the team come out with Alanga and Gordon and things like that. And we thought we were going to get pressed quite high up the pitch. We were worried. And then from minute 1, Newcastle just sat back. And I think for the first 30 minutes, we had 74% possession, which is unheard of this season. Absolutely unheard of. And then we were just knocking the ball around. We didn't look like scoring, to be perfectly honest. But we just knocked the ball around, and Newcastle were happy for us to do it.
Right.
I think the moment that lifted us massively was the 50-50s in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
We won every second ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. How surprised have you been as a Sunderland fan this season so far then, Tom?
You can't put words to it, to be honest, Jeff. I said at the start of the season I'd stay up by 1 goal on goal difference. And I'm now sitting there thinking I'd stay up and by 10 points. And AFCON's a worry. Because obviously you lose, like you say, you've lost 4 of the starters from yesterday. Siddiqui being the big one. I think when I've watched the match back last night, Peter Drury came out and said 70% of the earth's covered by water.
Yeah,
the rest of it's covered by no Siddiqui.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the big loss, because who do we fit into that gap? The natural replacement, Dan Neil, who hasn't played a minute of Premier League football. So that's probably the main concern.
Yeah. Well, you just hope that people like Dan Neil see it, grasp the opportunity and step up.
Yeah.
Tom, thank you so much.
Thanks for the call, Tom.
Cheers, gents.
Want to squeeze another Sunderland fan in. And that's Peter. Morning to you, Peter.
Good morning.
Good morning, gents. How are you?
Yeah, probably not as well as you, I imagine.
Happy boy today. And Ali, had the pleasure of watching you in the full end in that strip that was predominantly white with a red stripe.
Oh, I remember it well, Peter. Great days, mate.
You carried it off well.
Great days. Thanks very much. I just thought while we're on that and not talking about that strip, I might as well bring it up again. Wonderful reception for Gary Rowell, mate.
Oh, that was heartbreaking.
Wasn't it just
that Saturday night?
Devastated when I found out on Saturday night, mate. Absolutely devastated. What a player, but what a man. What a man.
What a legend. He was my favourite, along with Stan Cummins when I was growing up.
Oh, he's Stan, man. Yeah, great days.
Yeah.
But you must have been absolutely buzzing yesterday with the level of commitment and the way they went about it. And just we're talking about the middle of the park there with Siddiqui, but what about the signing of Granit Xhaka, Peter?
Incredible. I was a bit twitchy because halfway through the second half, I don't know if you noticed, he was limping around a bit and it looked like he'd had a knock. And then I'm thinking, oh no, lose your AFCON, don't lose Granit Xhaka, because he's your manager on the pitch. I mean, he's just a colossus.
Yeah, I mean, he has been sensational.
He's really important, really, really important player. But the most important thing yesterday, apart from the bragging rights, was the 3 points, because I think it's going to take a record number of points. I think it is going to be 40 to stay up this season, given the teams that are down there.
Never is. Honestly, it's never 40, Peter. Never anywhere near it.
But you got West Ham, you got Leeds, and you got Forest. They're going to pick up points. That's my worry.
Yeah.
And we've gone down with 44, more than 40 points before.
Yeah.
And I've got the T-shirt, and I've got the heartache.
Hey, Peter, don't be pessimistic. Enjoy the day. Thanks for the call, Peter.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, lots of love, gents.
All the best. All the best.
I
think, something. I think you might have a point,
I mean, it might be higher than usual. I mean, I think it was 26 kept you up last season.
Oh, well, that's ridiculous.
But but I think it might be 36. It's never 40 anymore. West Ham went down, didn't they, with 40 or 41 or whatever it was.
It'll be a lot nearer. I don't think it's going to do it.
I think it'll be nearer, but I just don't see it. The Sunderland thing, I just want one little thought that occurred to me. We talk about desire and will to win and the signings, and I look through, which from back to front, the performance. The goalkeeper, there was a moment in, I think it was the second half.
He's been terrific.
He's come off his line and he's come almost to the edge of his box through a dozen players to take a ball. And he didn't have saves to make yesterday, really, but he's been magnificent, and the confidence he gives that side is brilliant. So from the back line to Brian Robbie up front, who is a proper blooming handful, and Isidore is as well, by the way, when he comes on to replace him. It's a squad to be proud of, I think.
Yeah, well, you look at it. I mean, I saw them at Chelsea, and they're well deserved of the late victory that they got. And the fans were absolutely incredible.
Oh, yeah.
And you could feel it coming through the telly again yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, the atmosphere at that place.